Like a ticking bomb, you never know when these guys will go off.
Yeah, England. I brought you some tanning.
I like that. That's racist.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 unpredictable celebrity interviewees.
How difficult was it, when writing, to stretch it into just a narrative without using like a lot of the post-editing jokes?
It was difficult, very difficult.
I hate you guys.
For this list, we're focusing on the stars that often confuse interviewers through odd behavior or responses.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh, Walt Disney.
We're excluding celebrities like Robert De Niro, who usually appears only vaguely present during interviews but is still pretty consistent with his demeanor. Number 10, Andy Kaufman.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. As you can tell, Andy Kaufman is here, sort of.
Known for his reclusive ways and extremely bizarre public persona, this comedic performer made each interview a must-watch.
You have your own show?
No, I'm not doing much special right now.
With David Letterman often asking the questions, Andy Kaufman thoroughly confused audiences through an unorthodox approach to comedy, instigating feuds and often conveying a slightly detached aura from the present. Then again, the hilarious taxi star reportedly practiced meditation to ease his performance anxiety, which demonstrates that he wasn't actually out of touch at all, but playing a perpetual prank on his audience. Unfortunately, Kaufman's 1984 death only added to his reputation, and sadly, he never returned for that final bow.
You are actually going to wrestle a woman.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you ever wrestle a man?
I'd rather wrestle a woman.
Number 9, Billy Bob Thornton.
I gotta say, if that were me in your position, I would have killed that man.
Undeniably an actor's actor, and perhaps even the victim of media toxicity at times, this man has been known to not give a frack.
She sort of adopted me in a lot of ways.
For one, Billy Bob married Angelina Jolie when she was blossoming into a star, and when such a well-documented relationship fails, and you've already been married 4 times, well, people are gonna have some questions.
Billy Bob, you guys formed only in the last couple of years, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
How so?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Of course, Thornton earned criticism for veering towards pretension.
I reckon the reason I'm in here is because I kill somebody.
Most notably during his 2009 interview with the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation Radio 1 program Q, in which he took offense to questions that touched on his acting career as opposed to only his music. In general, if Billy's having a bad day, he'll let you know about it.
Are you reacting to the fact that I said...
Yeah, I am. Since you're instructed not to talk about shit like that, yeah, I am reacting to that, yeah.
Number 8, Charlie Sheen.
But occasionally, a giant marquee name comes through on your caller ID and it's like, winning.
When you're the son of a Hollywood star and essentially born into the movie industry, well, a certain amount of unpredictability comes with the self-promotion.
I'm here to admit that I am, in fact, HIV positive.
Charlie Sheen has long been a wild card, but in the digital age, he's the king of bizarre interviews. And yes, we're talking about the infamous winning sit-down with Good Morning America.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
By now, the public has been offered a few clues into Charlie's erratic behavior, but over the years, media outlets essentially jumped on board the Charlie train, seemingly disinterested in the effects of his inevitable crash.
I mean, come on, bro. I won Best Picture at 20. Wasn't even trying. Wasn't even warm.
Number 7, Russell Brand.
Not only is Fox News bigoted, it's also misleading. I once watched it for 12 hours and there was not one story about foxes.
He's a rock star of comedy, mainly because he looks like a rock star and played one in the movies.
Hey, watching all the snow on TMZ. Wicked, mate.
To be fair, however, Russell Brand clearly has some brains, and the media is reminded of that when they make the decision to book him for an interview.
But you did say at the start of the year that you were considering attempting celibacy. Is that something that you have continued with?
What time do you finish work?
The topics of conversation often involve drugs, politics, and revolution. But that's not to say that Brand doesn't have a few tricks up his sleeve.
The Queen! No, don't say that, please, Russell. Russell. You're beautiful. Russell.
It's easy to place him in a box, yet, time after time, he confronts the media elites who apparently believed that they had the comedian all figured out.
If we can engage that feeling and change things, why wouldn't we? Why is that naive? Why is that not my right because I'm an actor? I mean, I've taken the right. I don't need the right from you. I don't need the right from anybody. I'm taking it.
Number 6, Tim Heidecker and Eric Wareheim.
Let's talk about the film. A lot of the show's comedy is assisted by the post-editing process.
It's not working.
I don't know what he's talking about. I can't listen to him is the problem.
If you're even vaguely familiar with the eccentric comedy antics of these two special personalities, well, you can expect a strange interview pretty much all of the time.
Wayne doesn't like apples. Ooh, strong though, isn't he?
Tim and Eric are the guys behind a series called Tim and Eric Awesome Show Great Job. So when such creative individuals are placed in the interview chair, it's only natural for them to perform, usually asking weird questions and sometimes just not talking at all.
You know what, Ray? It has been so fun to travel the whole country and delivering our comedy to every city.
As a result, the unprepared interviewer will have a seriously difficult time with these two. But for someone willing to play the game, the interviews can be extremely entertaining.
No, I just did cocaine for the very first time.
In essence, Tim and Eric play sad clowns for the benefit of our entertainment.
Hi.
They're revered. Hey! You are bound and determined to put a hole in something with that football.
I want to set this studio on fire.
Yeah.
It is wild.
It will be my last official act here if you guys puncture something.
Number 5, Bruce Willis.
60. I was lying the whole time. I was lying the whole time that I was 60. I'm 74 years old.
This action star has gained a reputation for sharp rebuffs and stone-cold bluntness in his recent years, and no better place is it shown than in his interviews.
What are you talking about, Willis? You ever heard that before?
No. It's a little easy.
He knows it and sometimes plays up the persona. Of course, someone like Zach Galifianakis is paid to ask strange questions, but for everyone else, Bruce can appear like the disappointed father who wants you to know just how stupid your questions actually are.
See, Bruce, I can imagine you just love to get in a car and just drive off. You know, I can imagine you doing like the whole Route 66 thing one day.
I'm thinking about driving right now. I can hardly keep my mind on this interview.
He won't provide a full meltdown, no, just a curious demeanor complemented by well-timed retorts. A true professional of unpredictability.
I gotta be honest with you, Stu.
What?
I don't do my own stunts.
You son of a bitch! Oh, that one hurt.
Number 4, Tom Cruise.
I have never worried, Matt, about what other people think and what other people say.
So, here's a guy who's both self-aware and entirely clueless when it comes to his offbeat 21st century interviews.
Listen, here's the thing, Peter. Yeah. You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
I suppose they're questions that people want to know.
Peter, you want to know.
Of course, there's the Oprah interview, in which Tom Cruise gushed over Katie Holmes in a desperate plea for something.
That's how I feel about it.
But when it comes to more serious topics like Scientology, Cruise has no qualms about getting serious in a very confusing fashion, most notably to a slightly shaken Matt Lauer on the Today Show.
Maybe there are too many kids on Ritalin. Maybe electric shock.
Too many kids on Ritalin, Matt.
I'm just saying. But aren't there examples where it works?
Matt, you don't even. You're glib. You don't even know what Ritalin is.
All in all, when Mr. Cruise speaks, you just have to nod your head and make sure the cameras are still rolling.
Such an honor to meet you, Tom. I mean, and
it was the best
Cameron,
day. This
thank
is
you
like
very much for
vacation
making me
for us.
sick.
Number 3, Kristen Stewart.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. This is the skin of a killer, Bill.
As the star of the blockbuster Twilight franchise, this brunette beauty must have known what she was getting into, even if she wasn't exactly prepared for the media firestorm to follow.
Yeah, actors are very sheltered. You don't want to freak out the actors because they'll have nervous breakdowns and ruin your whole day of shooting.
Most often, Kristen Stewart seems actively present during interviews, yet not entirely going with the flow.
I don't mind doing this, but it can be weird, but at the same time, like, I don't wish for the question. I'd rather ask that. I'd probably the same answer.
Unsurprisingly, this has led to some criticism, as K-Stu easily slides into the role of detached actress that's not really sure what all the hype is about.
Yesterday on the plane, I spilled yogurt all over the plane, and the whole plane smelled like sour milk the whole time.
J-Law plays it to perfection, which only highlights the more strange appearances of her fellow megastar. It's not that Kristen Stewart isn't savvy, but just kind of, unpredictable.
When I hear that people are intimidated or they think that I'm like, reposed or like unapproachable or something, that actually, I hate it. I'm always like, dude, come up, say anything to me. I would love to engage with you.
Number 2, Kanye West.
You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers.
I'm asking you
You
a
ain't been
question.
doing the education.
Bro.
You ain't been doing the education.
Everyone knows that a Kanye West interview will always be predictably awkward. And that's because Kanye hasn't decided if he's the genius of the past 200 years or maybe just the genius of the 21st century.
Think about the type of wild shit I used to say in interviews.
Yeah.
And imagine if someone said this very thing to a girl at a bar.
Yes.
Yo, what up, baby? I'm a genius.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yo, who's this guy?
There's a lot going on with this guy, from his viewpoints on fashion to his erratic tirades on Twitter. And as a result, the subsequent interviews are primed for awkwardness, but you don't always know what kind of awkwardness.
I think I was going through now my version of my terrible twos.
Kanye is definitely the senior VP of millennial meltdowns, and let's be honest, we all fuel the fire. But what a beautiful experience it is to discover what exactly bothers Easy from interview to interview.
That's my whole point. That's what I'm trying to. They be sunning me. They be acting like I ain't me.
No honorable mentions this time. Let's get on to number 1.
I'll take a minute.
Number 1, Mel Gibson.
It's good to see you back in the saddle and doing what you do best. Thanks a lot for joining us, Mel. Take care.
Bye-bye. Asshole.
So, there are fun ways for celebrities to maintain an unpredictable persona, and then there's Mel Gibson.
There's no ego. They leave their ego at the door, and it's really a very nice experience. You know? I'm the only ego here.
In the YouTube era, he represents the awkward and sometimes scary side of passive-aggressive celebrities, as he will always smile away even though it's clear that he's seconds away from pulling the proverbial sword.
Do I understand correctly that underneath this freewheeling sort of facade or you know, face that there's the real conservative guy underneath? Is that true?
Well, I don't know. I'd hate to sort of pigeonhole myself in any way. You know, I read an article that said, not politically correct. I don't know what that means.
Sure, Mel Gibson can be pleasant when all is good and well. It's just that when he must explain his behavior, he only makes matters worse. And so, even when the most basic of questions are asked, Mel can find a conspiracy within and proceed to unload his beasts of burden.
You go, and it's burning its way through your esophagus, and you go, oh man, what did I do that for? Can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Do you agree with our list?
I disagree with it. And I think that there's a higher and better quality of life.
Which celebrity do you think is the most unpredictable?
Like, once you're aware of it, it just slaps you in the face everywhere you go.
For more explosive top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I can't imagine what the other questions are. Can you imagine?
I can't imagine. I'm so upset.
Why don't you unplug all the lights?